Picture this. It's a Saturday afternoon in a busy American mall in 2026. On one side of the hallway, a luxury store with bright lights and glass walls is filled with people buying $1,200 handbags, $900 sneakers, and watches that cost more than a year of someone's rent. The line at the register is long. The sales staff look relaxed because every purchase is large. Just a few steps away, down the same hallway, another store is nearly empty. A discount clothing chain with red clearance signs everywhere. Families walk in, look at the price tags, and quietly walk out. A mother checks her phone calculator. A father sighs and says, maybe next month. Two completely different economies are happening under the same roof. Luxury is booming, yet ordinary families feel like they're slowly drowning. And the strange thing is, both of these realities are happening at the same time in the same country. For a long time, people believed that economic struggles would hit everyone equally. When things got expensive, everyone tightened their belts. When things got better, everyone benefited. But that's not what the modern economy looks like anymore. In 2026, the financial gap between the top and the middle is not just widening, it's accelerating. Wealthier households are spending more than ever before, while millions of families are quietly reducing everyday purchases like groceries, school supplies, and basic clothing. It creates a confusing picture. News headlines say luxury sales are breaking records, while surveys show that families are cutting back on food, delaying medical visits, and carrying record levels of credit card debt. At first, this looks like a contradiction. How can both things be true at the same time? But when you zoom out, the answer becomes clearer. The economy is no longer moving as one unified machine. It's splitting into two different worlds. One world runs on assets, the other runs on paychecks. In the asset world, people make money from investments, real estate, stocks, and business ownership. When the stock market rises or property values increase, their wealth grows even if they don't work more hours. Over the last decade, asset prices have surged dramatically. Homes in many cities doubled in value, stock portfolios expanded, tech founders and investors accumulated massive wealth. For people inside that system, spending $3,000 on a designer bag feels like a small lifestyle expense because their net worth might have increased by hundreds of thousands in a single year. But most families don't live in the asset world. They live in the paycheck world. Their financial stability depends almost entirely on monthly income, and that income has not grown at the same pace as everything else. Rent increased, healthcare increased, insurance increased, childcare increased, groceries increased. Even basic services like car repairs or electricity became more expensive. When the cost of living rises faster than wages, the result isn't dramatic collapse, it's slow compression. Families still go to work, bills still get paid, but the margin disappears. Savings shrink, emergencies become stressful, vacations disappear. Financial breathing room slowly fades away. Psychologically, this creates a strange emotional environment. People see luxury everywhere. Social media shows influencers flying private jets and wearing designer brands. Cities build high-end restaurants and premium apartments. The visual signals of wealth are everywhere, but the financial reality for many households is moving in the opposite direction. The gap between what people see and what they experience grows wider each year, and that gap creates quiet pressure. When families feel financially squeezed while watching luxury consumption explode around them, it creates a sense of confusion. Not just economic confusion, but social confusion. People begin to wonder if they're doing something wrong. If everyone else seems to be thriving, why does normal life feel so expensive? The truth is that the system has changed in ways that aren't immediately visible. The modern economy increasingly rewards scale and ownership rather than labor. Technology allows companies to grow faster with fewer employees. Investors capture a larger share of profits. Businesses become more efficient, but wages don't rise proportionally. The result is that wealth concentrates upward while everyday costs continue spreading across the middle class. This is why luxury markets are booming, even during periods when families feel financially fragile. The top segment of society has experienced enormous wealth expansion. Even if only 10% of households become significantly richer, their spending power is so large that entire industries can thrive around them. Luxury hotels, luxury cars, luxury fashion, luxury real estate. These industries don't need millions of customers. They only need a relatively small group of very wealthy ones. Meanwhile, the middle class is adapting in quieter ways. Subscriptions get canceled, restaurant visits become less frequent, families compare grocery prices more carefully, cars are kept longer, home repairs get delayed. These adjustments rarely make headlines, but they reshape daily life for millions of people. And here's the deeper realization hiding underneath all of this. The problem isn't just that luxury is booming while families struggle. The deeper shift is that the economy is slowly separating into two financial realities that rarely intersect. One group builds wealth through ownership and scale, the other works harder just to maintain stability. And once you see that pattern, the story of modern finance starts to make more sense. It explains why expensive restaurants are full while food banks report record demand. It explains why luxury housing sells instantly while first-time buyers struggle for years to save a down payment. It explains why billion-dollar startups appear every year while many small businesses quietly close. But the most important shift is psychological, because when people finally recognize that the economy is no longer a single shared ladder, their strategy begins to change. Instead of assuming that working harder automatically leads to prosperity, they begin asking a different question, not just how to earn more income, but how to participate in systems that create ownership and leverage. Because the uncomfortable truth about the modern economy is this: the gap between struggling families and booming luxury markets isn't just about spending habits, it's about structural positioning. People who own assets benefit from economic expansion. People who depend solely on wages absorb the rising cost of living. And that realization changes how you see everything. Luxury stores filled with customers aren't just symbols of wealth, they are signals. Signals that the rules of money have quietly shifted. The economy didn't simply become more expensive, it became more divided. And once you understand that division, the real financial question of this decade becomes much clearer. It's no longer just about surviving the rising cost of life, it's about deciding which side of the economic system you want to stand on.